a week ago we talked about this team against the Ravens. Had they found something, Nick Chubb went off. They were able to be multiple offensively. Now they resort right back to what we thought their issues were before that game. And here's what is the identity of this team? All right, well, number one, we're talking about Baker Mayfield. What type of quarterback is he? You guys know I'm on record. I think Baker Mayfield is just a middle-of-the-pack guy, right? So if he is that, what are you going to do to support him? And that's Freddie Kitchens' job, is to support Baker Mayfield. If you have an offensive line that can't hold up, you got to call plays to protect your offensive line. The job of the coach. So, look, as much as people rail on Baker, and, you know, I don't want to say I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield. I just thought a lot of overhyping was going on when he was coming out in the draft and what people talked about with him doing last year. But you look at this team, they got real issues all over the place. Defense got ran through by the San Francisco 49ers. Couldn't protect because of Nick Bosa. And then Baker Mayfield, obviously just not a guy to raise that level of play when you bad around him.
Dan, I have so many questions, but the first I want to ask you is, we can see how bad this was. How much of this is on the quarterback?
Listen, if we think that it's just Baker Mayfield, we're crazy, right? Marcus just laid out a bunch of things. So first of all, this team is the best team in the NFL at beating themselves with turnovers, with penalties, with drops and missed tackles. Baker Mayfield's not blocking defensive ends one-on-one with tight ends. Baker Mayfield's not dropping some of these passes. Baker Mayfield's not asking these tackles to block really good pass rushers one-on-one. So he's part of the problem, absolutely. But to Marcus's point, this team, and it starts from their coach down. I want to talk about when Baker goes at the podium, because it just hit me. We know our problem. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Because you wouldn't be calling games like this. You don't know your problem because you wouldn't consistently, week after week, or it seems like week after week, expose the weakest part of your football team.
Which is what?
Their offensive line.
So what is their problem? Listen, this doesn't get any easier for them, right? They played a team yesterday that had 15 days of rest. Next week, they get a team that played last Thursday, and they themselves are on a short week. There is no benefit here for Cleveland. What do they have to fix?
You know, I told you how hard it is to win in this league. People think it's hard to win in the NFL. And all the talk about Cleveland and what they were going to do, I get all of that. I get all of that. But right now, Freddie Kitchens is trying to identify, how do I best progress this team to be successful? Well, one problem is when you got $100 million receiver on the roster, at some point, he got to be a staple. And I know people going to say, well, Odell missed 2 passes. Odell Beckham is at his best when he's involved highly in your offense. He makes quarterbacks look better than they really are. Second of all, when you start talking about the offensive line, Freddie Kitchens ain't just found out his offensive line bad. He knew Nick Bosa and this defensive line with Armstead and all of the D Ford that they could rush the passer. Nobody's shocking anybody anymore. Like, we about to be in week 6 in the NFL. You pretty much who you are, or you finding out a lot about who you're going to be.
And there's a reality to that. The NFL stands for a lot of things, but it is a what have you done for me lately league. And as much as I love the Browns and Baker, eventually, last year is not going to matter anymore. Eventually, it's going to become, what are you doing right now with your play?
It's a long season. I'm telling you.
Are you buying into the 49ers? Are you buying them as the best team in the NFC?
No. I think the Green Bay Packers are the best team.
I'll buy San Francisco.
Yeah.
Are
they the best team in their division?
Right now, yeah.
Yes.
Seattle's very good as well. They're in the conversation.
San Francisco, to me, is the best team in that division.
Listen, the fact that they're in that conversation speaks volumes, right? We're a month into the season. But for me, San Francisco has a functional identity on both sides of the football. And it's reliable. We were just talking about the Browns going, we don't know who they are, 1 week good, 1 week bad. Like, this team has a reliable identity week after week.
As funny as it sounds, the highest paid guy on this roster may be their liability. That's the thing, Garoppolo. That's the thing we don't know yet, is when he is pressed into those moments when he's going to have to throw the ball 40 or 50 times, because that game is coming. Can he do it and sustain what they need to be?
2 things to that. I believe in the coach so much that he will mask some of what might be that with Jimmy G. And then the question becomes this now. What teams in the NFC, offensive line-wise, can match up against what we saw to be a dominant D-line?
How many games has he started to this point?
14.
His whole career, 14. He hasn't even started 1 NFL season's worth of games.
And I think he's 12-2 or something like that.
The numbers are pretty good.
Everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.